Welcome everyone. Today we're working on our pulse motor generator, new form of clean energy production technology. If you're interested in clean energy production, science in general, dreaming big, believing in yourself, then you're in the right spot, because that's what we're doing here on this channel. From my garage, we're going to release this new type of motor generator, energy production tech. Open source it without fear or greed. We're not keeping anything secret. We're not patenting anything. There's no business being built around it. We're just open sourcing it for the people, showing that it can be done and allowing others to replicate it and follow in our footsteps. So we know the end goal, clean, sustainable energy. The path is not necessarily certain. It will present itself as we go, but the journey has begun. And I'd love for you to be a part of it, so stay tuned and let's get into it. So this particular model that we're building here is a stepped up version of what I've got over here. This is a Bedini motor. It was built by somebody called John Bedini in the 70s, 80s. He's long past, but there's two battery banks. One is a run battery, and it's causing this rotor with the magnets on it to move. And it does this by putting a pulse to the coil. The pulse collapses and we recycle the energy into the second battery. It's got electronics on it. We'll get into this in another video. That's not the purpose of it. I just want to say that this is one of the prototypes that we're using to build this much bigger version, completely different, higher voltage. This one here is not likely producing excess energy. It has run for many weeks on end. I've had the same batteries for years. Maybe if you measure all of the work done in the rotor, there's excess energy, but I don't think so. So we're not claiming this one is over unity and gonna run forever. It's not a perpetual motion machine in its current setup, okay? Is there ways of modifying it that we can do in future videos and take some measurements on it, some inputs, outputs of the energy being used? Sure, we will do that. But just to be clear, that's just a precursor that we're utilizing for this build here. This build, we do believe, is gonna produce excess energy. I am saying that it's going to produce excess energy. It's not built yet. The purpose of this project is to build it, have data loggers, all of the measurements available, everything open sourced, live stream it, put it in front of people at the university. That's the purpose of this project. So that's what we're going after, okay? There's a lot of people that tell you what we're trying to do is impossible. There's a lot of people that tell you certain things in life are impossible. You should never listen to those people. Nothing's impossible. That has no place in science. That phrase has no place in science or in life. People who tell you things are impossible are operating out of fear, okay? A true scientist would never tell you anything's impossible. A true scientist would tell you, I don't think that's gonna work. I personally don't think that's possible, but man, good on you. I would love for a new form of energy to be shown and implemented. That'd be amazing, right? So don't ever listen to anyone in life, in science. Don't think that's how science works. Science is inclusive. It's open to everyone's ideas. It's all about people trying things and collaborating together, and that's what we're doing here on this channel, right? We're keeping an open mind. We're collaborating. Everyone's welcome. Very inclusive channel. Everyone's welcome. I don't delete any of the comments. I don't care about the negative ones. That's fine. We can see all that. But just to be clear, people are telling you that you can never have an electrical machine that produces more energy than what it takes in, and that's based on the laws of thermodynamics, our math, our rule set, and sure, that can be valid to some degree to them. We observe this reality. We bring in data from all of our observations, so we're basing our mathematics on the data that is available to us, right? You've got a certain amount of information that's available to you, and then you build mathematics around it, laws, rules. So that's fine. These rules form a sort of a box, right? A box of beliefs, some limiting, some not, but nevertheless, these rules such as thermodynamics, our laws, our mathematics form a box around us. Now that's based on the information we have available to us. So is it not possible to have new information? That was supposed to be an infinity symbol. Anyways, to have new information outside of your current knowledge, right? Of course it is. Of course it is. Would that change your laws? No. These laws of thermodynamics are based on a closed system. So that means you knowing all of the energy inputs and outputs within the system. If all of a sudden you discover something new that was not currently known, right? Something, you become aware of something new, a new form of energy, then that doesn't mean your laws are invalid or the mathematics are necessarily invalid. It just means there's more out there and there's a bigger box. So that's how I'm proposing, and this is basic logic. You know, you don't need to have degrees in quantum physics and electrical engineering and all this other stuff. I knew how to build electronics long before I got a degree in electrical engineering, right? You don't need degrees. Don't let anybody make you think that a degree makes you smart and that you can't understand basic logic, right? You don't need a degree in science in order to understand that people telling you something's impossible isn't the truth and that they're operating out of fear. To understand that there can be more information that changes your current knowledge, right? There's more, if more information comes in, then your box gets bigger. So again, those are just fundamental principles of science and life that we believe here on the channel, that we're into, and that I hope I can convey to you guys, because it's important to dream big. It's important not to limit yourself. Let's go after something amazing. Let's set our goals so high that they're world changing when we achieve them, right? I don't want to go after small goals. I don't want to achieve small goals. I want to go after the big stuff. And that's what this is here. This motor is big. This motor will produce excess energy. Will its current setup power a city block? I don't know, probably not. But even if we can get a few watts of excess energy off of this and definitively prove that there are alternative sources of energy coming from the environment, that's amazing. That's world changing, because then it can be scaled up. A little bit of energy is the same as a lot of energy, in my opinion. And I do think we're going to get a lot of energy off this one. I think we will get several hundred watts coming off of this machine. It's going to continue to run. And again, that's because we're tapping into a new source of energy coming from the environment. We're not breaking any laws. We're not saying that energy is created from nothing. It's not. Free energy does not exist, okay? It's a controversial term, and I like using it because it just means new forms of energy to me, but free energy in reality does not exist. Excess energy does. There's excess energy all around us, right? Hard time with these electrical devices, right, where they can put out more energy than they put in. They say that's impossible, but it's like, I mean, a nuclear power plant takes energy to run it, to get going, right? So it's got more energy coming out than put in. Solar panels. Imagine if you had people who weren't aware of the sun's energy, and you said, oh, okay, thermodynamic laws say that we can't have more energy out than we put in. But then you realize that there's all this photon light energy flowing into your box. It's like, okay, well now our box has to get bigger. Doesn't mean that we're getting energy from nowhere. It's coming from the sun, okay? So that's how this is gonna work. New forms of energy coming from the environment that we are harvesting with this technology. I'm gonna show you guys the build at the end. You can see since the last time I talked to you, we've modified this back brace. I've straightened it out. It doesn't have any wobble to it. It's amazing. We put those ribs on it. This motor spins forever. I freewheeled it the other day. I spun it up by hand and it span for over 8 minutes, which is incredible. I mean, I would have been happy with like 2 minutes or 3 minutes. But anyways, the bearings we're using here, ceramic bearings, are absolutely incredible, very low friction. You can see we've got one of our coils mounted. We need another 16 coils in total. We're not going to worry about that for now. So the next step is to get the electronics on this build going. Joe, who I've mentioned before, and Kyle are partners on this build. They've been helping me, and Joe is doing all of the electronics. They look absolutely incredible. So the next video, I'm going to go through the boards, break down all the circuits that we're using, the difference between these electronics and the electronics we're using on here, 2 different types of switching mechanisms. It's incredible. I'm super excited. That's the purpose of this channel. Believe in yourself, dream big, never ever give up, and don't let people tell you that stuff's impossible, okay? Because it's not. On that note, I've made it very clear, I'm not hiding anything about needing money to produce this project. I'm not telling people I'm promising them anything. I'm not giving you free energy devices. You're not sending me money for anything other than scientific research. I need money for the materials of this project, okay? So if you want to donate, I've got a GoFundMe link up. I've got crowdfunding in the video. I've got lots of links. I'm going to keep going. I've got some people working on a website where we'll be able to take donations as well. I might do subscriptions to the YouTube channel as well. Whatever you guys can do. If you can't afford to donate $1, $5, $10, $20, that's cool. It's fine. I still love having you here. Just like, subscribe, share the videos. Even if you don't like the videos, I still like having you here. There was the one guy just going off on Will Prowse, like, Will, we love you. Just calm down, man. It's like, we're not claiming anything's free energy. We're not breaking laws of thermodynamics. We're just trying to bring out new technology. It's a scientific endeavor and it costs money. If somebody wants to donate to that cause, I'm being very open, honest where the money is gonna go. It's gonna go into this project. You're gonna see this project built and implemented with your money, okay? So we gotta raise $5,000 for the batteries. I need 20 large batteries for this, and that's probably the most prominent use of funds versus the batteries and then the electronics. But overall, we'd like to raise somewhere between $15,000 and $25,000 for this build. It's gonna happen regardless. I mean, I'll sell my car in order to make this thing go, but please help out. And again, I'm probably gonna take a sponsorship here. It's just gonna help. The more money I can have coming in, the sponsorships would help allow me to go full-time doing this, produce more content, better content. So yeah, I hope you're okay with that. I've got the website coming. It's been amazing. There's so many people reaching out. It's just incredible, you guys. Like, we're pushing 300,000 views on that last video, just amazing. The views are not what it's all about. Spreading the science and having the quality subscribers is what I'm after. I want to have a group of people that come together to push this science forward, and like-minded people with open hearts, open minds, who believe that changing the world is possible from your garage, you guys. Never ever give up. You can change the world from your house. It's like, it doesn't have to be this type of science. You can change the world. Don't ever let anyone tell you that you can't, because you can. And we're gonna prove that, right? We're gonna show the world that we can. So I'm gonna leave it there. We'll make that the end of the video, minus the footage of me building and tinkering. I got 7-8 minutes of footage here for you guys. I wanna show you what it took just to get this acrylic ribs on here, preloading of the bearing. And again, this thing's looking amazing. It spins forever. It's gonna be absolutely incredible, you guys. We're gonna make science fabulous again for everybody, okay? Science is inclusive, and you should dream big, always believe in yourself. I love you all. I cannot wait for the next videos. I cannot wait to have this thing running. Please contribute on the crowdfund if you can afford it. If not, just continue watching. Like, share, subscribe. Remember, there's limitless potential in all of us, all of our technology, and all things. Just believe. I'm gonna take off this back brace, and we're gonna modify it just because it's got a bit of a concave, convex, depending on which side you look from. You can see there's a gap in it right there, and this is a flat piece of acrylic. So we're gonna take it off, and then we're gonna bond these two pieces of acrylic ribs like that on the top and bottom. That should straighten it out. And then we're gonna take our guys here, which are gonna be our plates that preload the bearings, compress them, hold the bearings on the shaft into the holes there. So hopefully by applying these, after we've got everything built, we'll compress those, get all the bolts on, and put the ribs in here. Everything's gonna be good, and then that'll be modified and we should be good to go. Let's take this out, get this thing tipped over, and first off, I'm gonna take these spacers. This is to brace the rotor, so I'm gonna put these 50 mil spacers on this side here. There, so we've got a spacer there. I'm gonna put another one down here. And one more spacer on the other side, so you can see we got our spacers holding the rotor at a nice equal distance. There's our third one. So we've got our 3 spacers in there, close enough. I'll move the one around once I get it tipped over. 3 spacers. Now I'm going to tip this over and rest it on this case here. Oh, that's not good. Now we're gonna we'll take out all of these bolts here, machine screws, and then we can pop this off, and I'm gonna place it up here and brace it, and then we're gonna start tapping and securing these ribs. Okay, so we got all of our fasteners off. Now we can lift off this back brace, pull it direct, nice and straight up. Oh, there we go. I've got to move one of my spacers there. And you can see the 2 bearings I have on there. There's the ceramic spinning. I might take off the second one, we'll see. I just want to put 2 ceramics on there, so I've got more coming. But anyways, now we've got this back brace off, and we want to attach these ribs like that. You can see how this looks. I'm just gonna double check the measurements so it's centered, and then we will take our 1/8 drill bit and go all the way through with the 1/8. So basically, just
for clarification, what I'm doing here with the acrylic is first, so if this is our one acrylic surface and we're mounting our ribs, so these will be the ribs, this is the backboard, I'm strengthening the backboard. In order to do this, I've got to put a machine screw through this surface into here, so the acrylic will crack very easily. It's very brittle, it's hard to work with. So first off, I'm going to pre-drill a hole, I should say, not tap, pre-drill a 1/8 hole all the way through. So that's the entire length of the machine screw. Then I'm going to come back and drill a 9/64 inch hole, slightly bigger than the 1/8, but we're only going to drill the slightly bigger hole 85–90% of the way down. So there's that last 10% or so remaining. Last couple threads of these machine screws will have like 3 or 4 threads in there, and it gets enough bite. If we didn't do the bigger tap, the 9/64, it'll crack the acrylic. If we only did the 9/64, it won't have enough bite to hold it together securely. So that's what 4 hours of drilling acrylic got me, is that you need to use 2 separate pre-drills, and it allows you to get that last little bite, the last few threads of the machine screw in there without cracking the acrylic like I did over here on this one. You can see that's what happened there. So okay, so now we're going to try driving in one of these machine screws with our impact driver. Can't tell if that was the one I just drilled or not. Ow! Dang, that thing is hot. We have now completed the additional ribs on this piece. We've screwed it, machine screwed it together. We've got the 2 ribs down the center. Should hold everything together much better and won't wobble. Screwing this acrylic is not the funnest process. It took me a solid hour and a half just to get those on there. Now, we are going to see if we can get this to go down. There we go. There we go. So, now you can see what I was saying in the previous videos about having this be the easiest piece to put on, or it has the most tolerance, the largest tolerance. It's not a super tight fit on the bearings here. This plate's gonna go here, and then I've got half plates for the backside that go underneath, and we'll clamp those together so it holds the bearings in place from the outer race. You can see there's a gap between the inner race so it can still spin freely. Now I gotta secure these bottom bolts, the ones underneath first, just because once I put these ones in, these ones are in the way. So first things first, we'll do no. Oh, I don't know if I have enough washers to go on these. I'll probably save the washers for the middle piece because I don't have washers right now, so I will end up putting washers on all these bolts. Now we are going to install the plates to hold the bearings in place. So on the inner shaft, I've got them in half plates, so I can still obviously get them around the shaft. If I didn't have it in half plates, I would have had to put it on prior to putting the bearings on. Standing it up was much smoother than laying it down.